So I was just watching outside, and first that was a lot of fun. Like you're going back and forth at it. It's always fun for me to have these moments where I can watch an active negotiation on a real deal happening in real time. And now I want to walk you through with Savannah, personally, the two of us here, the things that she did well in the negotiation and the things that I think that she can improve on. And so we have this environment where we can go through those things, and I want to see if maybe you saw the same things that I did as you were working through it in your own workbook. Remember, we're learning here. We're working on building something great and something big. So, you ready?
More than ready.
Should I bring it on?
Bring it.
Okay. First thing, right at the beginning, right, we talk about power moves, asserting confidence, asserting dominance, but also making the other side feel welcome. This was a neutral setting that you were meeting Talia at. And you were there with her because you needed to get something out of her, correct?
Right.
Right? You had a deal, but you needed that one extra push to get your clients across the finish line. You got the price where you needed it, but now you needed to get them to agree on the appliances, so you needed something out of her. So when you said hello and you went for the handshake, you tried to assert a little too much dominance on her, as if it was in your house or your office. So when she was shaking your hand and then you went in for the extra shake and then she was good, but then you went with you like touched her shoulder, right? That moment there, it was like you had the guidebook, like you memorized it, you knew what to do to assert your confidence, right? You're the power broker. But in this situation, because you wanted something out of her, it's what we talk about all the time, where you want the other side to win in the negotiation. Because if she feels comfortable and confident and like she has the power, then she'll be that much more motivated to help you and get the deal done, even though it was your idea the entire time. And so when you went in for the shake, right, I would have probably left it at that. If she did any other sort of dominating moves with you, great. Let her feel like she's the powerful one.
Okay.
Make sense?
Makes sense.
The second thing that I would say, and this isn't always a deal breaker, is she offered you water and you said no. So when someone's offering you water, in most situations, it's something nice that they're doing where when you say yes, you don't need to drink it. It's not like she's not checking your hydration. It's you agreeing to something with her. It builds a weird little layer of water trust, right? In all those situations where someone says, hey, do you want water? If you say no, your first conversation that you both have had now before this negotiation is her asking you something and you bringing a negative to it. So you've now just started off on a negative foot. I know it doesn't feel that way because we're so used to like going to our parents' house, places like, hey, you want anything to drink? And you're like, I just drink. I've been drinking all day. Please, 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 I don't want to have to drink anything. And we don't think about it. But remember, you're bringing a negative. It's one of the early rules of negotiation where you don't want to ask questions that people can say no to, and you always want to ask questions that people can say yes to. You want to get those affirmatives. Like, it's a nice day today outside, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Now you're starting positive. Now you're starting excited. It is a nice day. Okay, great. I need something from you. Okay? So even if you don't need the water, always take the water. Start on the positive and say thank you. Thank you. And when you take the water, it also gives you like an extra minute to acclimate to the room because she's going to grab it and she's going to give it to you. A few extra seconds to talk about that compliment, right? You complimented her really, really well, by the way. That was great, right? Always starts to build that trust. So you fixed it. You didn't take the water, but then you complimented her and you complimented her a lot, right? So it works, right? People like to know that, oh, my dress does match my eyes. Thank you. I decided for an hour what to wear today. So you're building that layer of trust. So that was good.
Great. Okay.
Remember, you did a lot well. At the end of the negotiation, just as we all saw, you got what you wanted, right? So the point of this, you and I talking right now, and the point of you all watching this as part of this chapter, isn't to sit here and tell you how great you are, right? That would be a waste of everyone's time. You and I can do that after separately. I'll just tell you how awesome you are. This, though, is just to go through the key moments so that for you and especially for all of us, right, this is a learning moment. The next thing I would say, you could have done a little bit more rapport building. I know it feels like a waste of time sometimes, and I know sometimes we feel like it's bullshit, and like, no, it's not real, we're just phoning it in. But it is real. Like, to take some time to talk about their day, to take some time to say, how was your day yesterday? How's your week going? How was the night? Like, you're asking those questions to open up the room and understand who they are a little bit more and what they're going through. And sometimes, right, it can just build up a nice little rapport and, hey, we're here to get a deal done. This is a conversation. But sometimes they might also lead you in on something that's going on in their own life where it'll inform the way you talk. So if you just get right to business, like, hey, you're great, you look great, thanks, don't need your water. So my clients, you might not know that she, was up all night long with a stomach bug. You might not know that she just had a big fight with her husband this morning and she's trying to hide it. And so when you come out saying, no, I don't want your water, I'm talking about the deal, that personal issue that she might have had this morning is now going to bleed into this negotiation. You're going to think that she's being tough with you because of the deal, when really she's being tough with you because she's hurting inside because of her relationship with her husband. So not that she's going to put all that on the table, but when you build up that opening rapport at the beginning of a conversation, it's nice just to make that eye contact and just try to establish some humanity there, because that's what this is. It's not your client's house negotiating with her client's house. Like, there's no algorithm here. Like, the AI isn't at work yet. We're still just two people sitting across from a conference table trying to get the other side to like you, right?
Right.
And then you did something really, really great, which was you reestablished the circumstances of the conversation so that both of you were on the same page in the negotiation, which is really important because sometimes your mind can be so focused on one part of the deal, her mind is focused on a different part of the deal, you have no idea. And so it's key to bring it all back, right, in front of you. Here's where we are. Here's where we've come from, right? And you brought market research, which was great. And you started to clarify how you already got to the price that you were at, where in your mind it was because of the market where in your mind the price that you negotiated to, knowing full well that the sellers are taking a loss, right? But also knowing full well that your buyers are stretching to pay more than they wanted to pay is due to the current market and based on comps, right? Which was great that you talked about that, because in her mind it seemed like, and you did a great job at kind of reframing it so that she could understand, it seemed like in her mind she had maybe heard from you and then explained it to her sellers that the price that you negotiated to was a little due to the market, but also due to the appliances and also due to, let's just get a deal done, it's time to sell and move on, right? And so when you're on the buy side, oftentimes it's important, and you did a great job at this, at like reframing, hey, here's how we got here. Here's where we are. Don't forget the comps. Don't forget, like, this is where we are, because when you're representing a seller like Talia is in that situation, it's easy for her just to be, oh, my fiduciary is to my seller. I'm not thinking about any of your buyer's issues. Not my problem, not my problem, not my problem. So you did a great job there.
Thank you.
And you did your opposition research. You looked into who the actual players were, and like a ninja, you found these people on LinkedIn. Exactly. And you found that they were doing all this traveling back and forth. That was great because you were able to establish urgency in the transaction there in a way that Talia might have pushed back on had you not had those facts, because it wasn't like that was information that she would just willingly be bringing to the table, because it's not good for her point of view.
Yeah, I could tell she was a little surprised that I found her seller's underlying motivation. So I felt like at that moment, she could maybe offer a little bit more because she was taken aback.
Exactly. Poking holes in the facade that she's drawing for these very, very tough, stern sellers. So when you find that underlying motivation, all of a sudden in her mind, she's starting to think, oh shoot, she knows. Now I've got to figure this out, and I still got to get this deal done. Because remember, if you put yourself in her shoes, she doesn't want to lose the deal either. There's going to be a lot of agents you're going to deal with in your career who sometimes actually truly don't care. They'd rather just assert dominance over you and then not help their sellers and not sell. But you're lucky. Talia is a deal maker. She actually works for the deal, so she wants to get this done. But she also wants to get her sellers the absolute best price, right? Which you want to get your buyers the absolute best price.
Right. And I felt like at that moment, she was more willing to make the deal happen when I came in with that.
Yeah, just like that.
So even though I came in with that play, we ended up not coming to our ultimate agreement, which is wanting to get the appliances fixed. and she ended up offering furniture as a concession. So how would you have gone about it differently, and what can I do next steps to make sure that this deal still happens and my buyers are still happy, even though the appliances are not getting fixed?
Okay, so how do you fix a problem? You have a
Solution,
right? I always, with every problem, I want to show up to the table with 3 solutions. One solution that I think we should all do, and then 2 solutions that are options. It's kind of like when we're pricing property sometimes that's hard to price. You know, you'll bring the low price, which is like buy now price. You'll bring the middle price, which is probably where we're going to end, and then you bring the aggressive price to protect you in the event that the seller is a lunatic and wants some insane price, and then all these other agents they're interviewing are giving them those high prices too. Now you know the market, and then you can talk about it, right? Same thing here. What Talia did, because she understood that you brought the problem without bringing solutions, she's been in this situation before for 10 years, right? So she's done this before, and she's a deal maker, and she wants to work with you. You brought the buyer. She didn't bring the buyer. And so she said, okay, Jen also taught this earlier in the course, remember, that when you have a problem, you bring solutions. So Talia recognized, and I watched her do this, that you didn't have solutions to the problem that you brought to the table in the negotiation, but Talia knows that we need to have solutions, so she stepped in for you because she's working for the deal. She's done this for a long, 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 long time. So she brought her own solutions. One of those happened to end up being, we already lowered the price, you figure it out, but we're going to bring in furniture as a concession. So next time you go into a negotiation, where there was a problem, always have 3 solutions. One that you think is going to be the solution everyone goes with, but then 2 others to typically bookend. One that no one wants to do, one that, okay, that'd be crazy if you did it. That way you always make the actual solution look like the best choice, and it's the other side's idea. So you could have brought together, you know what, if you absolutely don't want to fix the appliances, I need a concession of something to get them the win. What about furniture? What are your clients doing with the furniture? Or I have a repair person for that brand of appliances. They're great. Talia, why don't you and I work on it? We'll just get the appliances fixed before the closing, something like that, and you pick a third. Now, you brought the repair person as a solution, right? But it was more of a lobbed out idea of like, well, why don't they just go fix it? Why don't they get a repair person and go fix it? But the solution would actually be, I have a repair person. I found one. We can connect them to your sellers, so the stress isn't there, the work isn't there, they know exactly what to do, and we can get this deal closed. And that would make you look good to your own clients because now you're all working together to get this deal done, kind of thing. At the end of the conversation, you're in a good position. You'd both worked out a solution to get this deal done. The one thing that I want you to do differently going forward, this is a key point for all of you watching, is you want to be confident about that final solution. So when Talia said, okay, if I get this done, your clients have to sign and wire by tomorrow at 5 o'clock, you said, I'll try. I'll try. That doesn't make Talia feel great. And in this case, you're lucky because she wants to get the deal done. She's going to fight hard for it. But if you're with another agent who now doesn't trust you because you didn't take their water, and now you're saying, I'll try, how is she to know that it's worth putting her neck on the line with her sellers for something that maybe there's going to be other issues, right? So she might have fear when you use the words, I try, or, well, I think, or maybe. Whether that's all true or not, what you're really saying to the other side is, I don't know. Hope this works. Let's see. It's up to the gods. And so Talia's position then gets a little bit dicey because she's going to be nervous to go back to her sellers and say, this is what gets the deal done. Because then the sellers might be stubborn. They might say, oh, I thought we lowered the price already because of the appliances. I thought we were already losing all this money because of the market. Now they want us to throw in all our furniture. What else is it going to be? They're not going to sign tomorrow. They're going to come back and want my daughter. They're going to want our car. They want us to fund their college educations for their children. I don't know. What's it, people start thinking, and then things that aren't even a part of the deal end up killing the deal. So at the end, we're going to get this done. even if it doesn't happen. You don't control your clients, right? You're not them. It's okay. You'll always figure it out. We're going to get this done. I'm going to make this happen, right?
Even if I feel like my clients may not go through with it, even just have that confidence saying that they will go through with it and pull through and we'll make this deal happen.
You don't want to lie, you know? I mean, if you absolutely think that your clients are not going to do it based on the furniture, then you don't want to say that. But the way I would probably finalize that conversation is, this is a great option for my buyers. I'm taking it back to them, right? I'm going to take it back to them. We're going to do everything to get this done. So that way you're at least not saying, I think it'll work, let's see, or it might work, or let me think about it with them, right? You're leaving on that confidence because you also want to give the other side the confidence. Remember, this is kind of part of our CODO mindset here in closing and negotiating. You want the other side to feel confident in the deal they're doing with you. It's going to help get that deal across the finish line all the time. You know, on my way over to shoot this course with you right now, I was talking to one of the biggest brokers in New York City. Her name is Kathy. On the Upper East Side, we have an off-market listing. My seller paid $30 million for. Her guy is willing to pay $36 million for it, and my seller won't sell for a dollar under 40. So I'm dealing with a tough one, but she knows that I'm going to do everything in my power to get it done, and so there's this trust built between us. So when I tell her, I'm coming back to you, I'm going to do everything I can to get it done, she knows, okay, however long that's going to take, I trust Ryan. I know he's going to fight for the deal. If I said, I don't know, he's difficult, I think, you know, there's no trust. And so now I know that Kathy will come to me time and time and time again with her buyers who want to buy all of my clients' off-market properties. And so the last thing I'll say is, as you put all of this into practice, remember, this is not the last deal you do with Talia. Every deal you do with every agent, this is one of hundreds, hopefully. You two build up a great rapport, and you'll be doing deals together for the rest of your career, you know? And then maybe one day, she'll work for you.
I totally agree. I think it's so important to have that trust with not only your own teammates within the same firm, but also outside of the brokerage with the entire broker community for that reason. So 100%. Thank you. Of
course. And you're getting the deal done, so good news all around.
Yes.
So there is so much gold to take away from this. You should rewatch these last couple chapters a bunch of times because you're going to see little things throughout that you can start to relate to how you operate, how you negotiate, how you've spoken to other buy-side and sell-side agents. There's a lot to take away here. And as I hope you're starting to see, everything we've talked about in the entirety of this course, between myself, Micah, Jen, the CODO mindset, getting the other side to win and everything else, you can see how it actually plays out in real life, negotiation by negotiation. This is real stuff. This is happening right now. We actually are doing this together. And with that, one more chapter. Let's go wrap it up.